Hi everybody, and welcome to Ben's Kitchen. I'm sure a lot of you have been making bread during the quarantine, and that's because I haven't been able to buy yeast in the store for 2 months now. But for those of you that haven't been making some bread, I'm going to show you how today. The best thing about this recipe is that there's about 10 minutes of active time. It only uses 4 ingredients and requires 0 special equipment. So, let's get down to cooking. Wham bam, let's make some bread, man! Bread! Make sure there's gas in the tank, because this road trip's going to Flavor Town. So this recipe is going to be no knead. We mix them up and let them sit out overnight to develop their gluten and rise. So for the standard bread, we're going to need 300 grams of all-purpose flour, 4.5 grams of salt, 3 grams of yeast, and 210 grams of water. So once you have your ingredients measured out, start by mixing the flour and salt together. Next, add the yeast, and lastly, the water. Mix it all together until a shaggy dough forms. Cover with plastic wrap and have yourself an adult beverage. You've earned it, cowboy. You're making bread. Let sit on the counter in your kitchen for 12 and up to 24 hours. The next day, 1 to 4 hours before you want that sweet, tasty bread, lightly flour a cutting board or your countertop. Next, turn out your dough onto your work surface. Cover with a floured towel or greased plastic wrap, and then let rise at room temperature for 1 to 4 hours. 20 minutes before cooking, you want to put your Dutch oven into your normal oven and preheat at 450 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes. What should you do during those 20 to 30 minutes? I don't know. Play the ukulele and harass your cat? Oh, it's love! Ah! If you don't have a Dutch oven, loaf pan maybe? I don't know. I read on the internet somewhere that you could use a crock pot liner to bake this bread in. And I tried that and it exploded in my friend's oven, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. Yeah, the reason you want a Dutch oven is because it creates the perfect environment for bread to rise and or bake, so it gets all crispy on the outside and all gooey on the inside, and it's absolutely delicious. Yeah. All right, so what we're gonna be doing from here is we're gonna be putting our bread into the Dutch oven, and then it's gonna be headed into the normal oven. So your loaf should look something a little bit like this. You can kind of lightly shape it into whatever desired shape you want. Also, highly recommend these bad boys. For any of you people that are home cooks, they are tremendous. No more slipping, falling. There's gonna be a link to buy in the description down below. All right. That's gonna go in for 15 minutes. We're gonna take the lid off and then let it cook for another 15 minutes and check it about midway through and see what the temperature is. We're going for an internal temperature of 210 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah. Hey Google, set a timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, and that's starting now.
Dude, Google Home in the kitchen is so cool. All right, so we're gonna wanna pull this out, take the lid off. Yeah, look at that, we almost got bread. Get it close there. Beautiful. Hey Google, set timer for 15 minutes. Also, for the purposes of this video, I'm gonna try an experiment. I figured some of you wouldn't have Dutch ovens, so I actually had the forethought last night to make a second batch of bread that we're just gonna do a standard loaf pan. Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't really know. I imagine it'll probably cook quicker, so I'm gonna get some aluminum foil, and we'll cover that so that it can, because the reason you want to cover it for the first part of the baking is the steam rises up in there, and it's called the oven rise when your bread puffs up just that little bit more. So like, I think this will work. Like I said, you can't f this up. There you have it. Let cool on a baking rack for 10 minutes before slicing and serving. Trust me to wait to 10 minutes. I know you're not gonna want to, but you gotta make sure it's cool all the way completely. I'm not waiting. Do as I say, not as I do. Joke's on you, people. After your bread has cooled completely, slice with a serrated knife. All right, so that's what we're wanting here. Dense, but not too dense. Get a nice chew, lots of little bubbles through here. Look at the exterior, it's golden brown. And then that's what a slice of your bread looks like. So dig in. You've earned it. You're a champion. You made bread. Let's see how this guy looks. All right, so this is after 15 minutes. Holy God, I'll be darned. It worked. All right, so I'm testing the temperature just to kind of see where we're at. We're at 150, 162 rising. Okay. All right, we're gonna throw that in, uncovered, let it bake for, I don't know, I'll check it another 10 minutes. Because I don't want to burn it, because I'm recording it. Dude, I can't believe this turned out, man. That looks awesome. Maybe like let it proof in the pan? I don't know. That turned out pretty good. All right, guys, there you have it. We just made bread. The loaf pan one turned out pretty good. It's good. It's got a good lift to it. I mean, it's a loaf shape. I mean, it's bread. So yeah, I guess you literally don't need anything other than a loaf pan to make awesome homemade bread at home. But seriously, this stuff is so awesome. Like the first time you make it, you probably think like, well, we're gonna have a breakfast sandwich or, make a really good BLT. I promise you, the first time you make a loaf of homemade bread, you and your family are gonna eat the entire thing in one sitting. It's it kicks up any dish. Pasta, noodles, a sandwich, soups. Actually, while we were doing this, I ate a bowl of soup using this bread, which is why the continuity error of the heel is there. So anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. And as always, happy eating. Stay cool, my cool cats and cool dogs. Stay salty and keep your powder dry. Bread, Felicia. And as always, remember, there's no loafing around in this kitchen unless you're the bread. Have a good one, folks, and we'll see you around the ranch next time you come by to say howdy.